HR is asking us to pitch in $20 for Christmas presents for the CEO and CTO.
I just fucking can't. That money is going to my kids, not to the fat cats at the top who make at least 5x what I make in any given month. Buy your own damn presents.
Vented to my GF about work yesterday. Still can't believe I was suspended from my job for addressing a human by their name instead of sir.
Suspended for failure to follow policies and procedures. Kfu. The best part is David literally told me someone like you doesn't call me by my name. It's sir. We are not drinking buddies. These people. This is why I'm over it. So tired of being treated as a lesser human. I refuse to be subservient. Screw that. Happy Tuesday, friends.
Just because you're single doesn't mean you shouldn't be able to afford housing, food, clothing, and then still have enough left for saving for a rainy day as well as your retirement. Being single doesn't mean you are not entitled to a life.
It's just a choice society has made to pay people so low. It's not some complex thing that can't be reversed. People also seem to disagree on what an average good quality of life is in the US, and seem to think demanding those things is being entitled. Quality of life should be an increasing metric as the country and people progress. It's not a fixed number in time to hold on to, it should change to continually increase the level of comfort for the individual. However, this isn't what is happening. That's the problem.
Gave a ride home to my boss. A huge mistake.
I'm 26M and I work at a local big box store. Sucks I know, but haven't had much luck entering the career I studied for. I worked a closing shift last week and I noticed my boss having car issues and asked if he needed a ride. I drove him home and it was really awkward. He just talked about work, and I get the sense it is his entire world. As I dropped him off, he says pick me up here tomorrow at 7 a.m. I was like yeah sure, because I thought he was joking. He proceeds to tell me his car will need to be taken to a mechanic and he needs a ride tomorrow at 7 a.m. I reluctantly agreed. I've been driving him into work for over a week and he has gone so far as to change my shift schedule so that I start at the same time as him every day and get off at closing time. He has me off for 4 hours in the middle of the shift so that I don't rack up any overtime hours. Yesterday, while driving him home, which is 15 minutes out of my way, I asked if he could pay for some gas. He went nuts. Said that I should be glad to even have a job, and that I should be grateful for being able to make a connection with someone who is in a powerful position inside the company. I need the job, but I don't know what the heck to do. He hasn't even told me when his car is expected to be fixed. Life sucks at the moment.
Update: I'm being accused of stealing company property.
I had posted yesterday on my lunch break, and when I came back into work I already had a few good ideas thanks to a bunch of you. Like several of you recommended, I wanted to get her accusations in writing, so I sent off an email as soon as I sat down after lunch. I basically played dumb. Hi, just wanted to double check the rules regarding bringing coffee in from home. Is this not allowed? Asterisk, I don't recall this being in our employee handbook asterisk blah blah blah. She replied about an hour later, saying what she had said earlier, yes, it was grounds for firing since it was using company property for personal gain, lol what, and I should only use the company Keurig cups. I replied asking if it was considered stealing the company water, and she again said yes, but not if I paid for the coffee since I was purchasing it. Oh, and a bunch of you also thought she was profiting off the coffee cups, and while your logic was sound, I found out later she has no responsibilities or fingers in the pot regarding the fees from the employee break area. Turns out she really is just a micromanaging asshole. Once I got these emails back from her, I went straight in person to my senior boss, who outranks everyone in the office. I asked him if it was true that we were not allowed to bring in our own personal Keurig cups. He looked confused and said, no, that's not true at all. I bring in my own sometimes. He went from confused to shocked when I told him I was being accused of stealing company water while using my own Keurig cups, and that I wanted to file an official complaint. and then annoyed when I told him who was accusing me and who I wanted to complain against. He apologized profusely on behalf of the asshole manager and explained a few things. Long story short, there were multiple complaints of the same nature against this particular manager, mostly in the vein that she was overstepping the bounds of her duties and threatening to fire people at the slightest whim. Which, senior boss told me, was not her decision to make. The senior boss apologized again and again, told me that I was absolutely allowed to bring in my own Keurig cups, and that he would be speaking to the other manager in question. He finished by saying, "Her behavior will stop, I promise you, and she won't be speaking to you about this again. Let me know if she brings it up further." Asterisk, he again repeated that it was not her responsibility, or within her duties to fire me. Asterisk. I have a very good relationship with my senior boss, and he told me that while he would prefer to avoid filing an official complaint, he would understand if I chose to and would draw up the paperwork. I told him that as long as no one else was accusing me of theft, and that my job wasn't actually in jeopardy, it wasn't, he kept telling me, I wouldn't file a complaint. Only if the asshole manager apologized in person. I got a very tight-lipped face-to-face apology about 2 hours later from the asshole manager. I told her how insulting it was to be accused of theft, especially over something so incredibly stupid as a single cup of water. I told her I didn't want to talk about it further, and that I wasn't going to hold it over her head as long as she treated me fairly going forward. I told her I would not be lodging a complaint, but if I felt like I was being unjustly accused of something in the future from her, I'd have those emails she so conveniently sent me as evidence that she didn't know what she was talking about. Like I said, I have a very good relationship with the senior boss, and I've been at my current company for 5 years. I'm not worried.
Got an email from my old boss, a company I left more than a year ago.
We need some help with the payroll sheet you designed. We would like to discuss this in person in order to show you what the problems are. Is there any way next week we can get you on board to help us? Please let me know. Thank you and happy Thanksgiving. Before/Antiwork, I probably would try to find a way to help. Now, I see some issues with it. 1. I did design it to make it easier for me to run payroll. 2. It's been working for you just fine for more than a year, and all of a sudden there's problems. Probably user error, if anything. 3. This company is 20 miles south of home, and I currently work 20 miles north of home. Why would I burden myself and my current employer to try to help these people with something that, I know, I will not be compensated for? I'm debating on whether or not to even respond to this. Happy Thanksgiving, indeed. After reading a lot of replies, I decided it was most prudent to test the waters, and sent a reply email saying that I cannot meet in person because of distance and scheduling conflicts. Hi, accounting person. Unfortunately, I don't have the availability for an in-person meeting. As a boss person knows, I work in current city about the same hours that a previous employer is open. That's 20 miles in the opposite direction for me and 40 miles away from their city. As for the spreadsheet, it was created with Google Sheets, so you can simply share the latest sheet you have with me at this email address and write up your questions or concerns. I'll take a look at the scope and get back to you. Keep in mind, I haven't seen this in over a year, and you have been working with it since. I don't know what changes have been made in that time. It's likely it doesn't work as originally designed. All the best, Phenom 981. The email response I got today was, Hi, Phenom 981. I think a phone call will do. If we can chat on the phone and work on the same sheet, I can tell you what I would like to have you fix and/or change. Once I can get all of it together, I will have a boss man look it over, and then we can do a phone meeting. Let me work on it this week and get back to you. I think this satisfies my curiosity and makes it clear that they're downplaying the importance of the work/help they need. Still no mention of compensation of any kind, of course. My final decision is that I don't need the money, and I definitely don't need the drama, so I'm done with this. When they contact me again, I will let them know that, and that I don't intend to waste my time or theirs.